Hello everyone, welcome to the channel guys. Today I am finally making my Starfield video. Right, I've saw plenty of these online and they seem like reviews, really. Reviews of a game that none of us have actually played. And you know, it's worth what it's worth. You saw this game as much as I have, you know as much about it, if not more about it than I actually do. But I did notice some things that I wanted to talk about on our channel, and you know, things that maybe other people I haven't seen other people talk about, other things that maybe other people didn't notice. But yeah, just I want to jump right into it. But first, I want to say that Bethesda, I love Bethesda. Okay, I love everything they do. From the Fallout universe, I started out playing Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Okay, and I played that, and then when Skyrim came out, it was just like, honestly, Oblivion was like my first step into a real RPG. Like, I felt like I was there. I cared what decisions that I made. It mattered to me. Okay, and that's something that is rare in gameplay today. You know, even into Fallout, I was the guy that I didn't want to say something stupid. I didn't want to blow up the town. What was it, Megaton? Like I cared, and their games inspire me to do that. So anyway, to start it off, my son and I, like I said, we're counting down the days like we're counting down to Christmas for Starfield. So don't be mistaken by, the things that I'm complaining. It may sound like I'm complaining about, but I did want to share my perspective and my concerns going into this game. That being said, I believe this game is going to be a fantastic RPG experience, much like Skyrim was. And on the PS4, dude, I played that game until the hard drive went out. I had everything. I had everything I could get in that game. It was awesome. I believe this is going to be a similar experience. I believe that we are going to be able to spend hours and hours and hours, crafting this character and building on it and exploring the universe. And maybe, hopefully, we'll have so many side quests that we get, sidetracked on our way to do. There were so many quests in Skyrim that I would get distracted, by something. And I think I heard someone else talk about this, but it's exactly how I feel. I would get distracted and then take off on another adventure, or come across a cave that I wanted to explore. Like, I think this is going to be that kind of game, okay? So for this channel, where we focus on space and space games, space sims, that sort of thing, I know that I'm going to be making content for this game. I can tell because I love Bethesda, and it's a Bethesda space game, so yeah, I'm pumped, okay? My thing is, in Elite Dangerous, okay, my favorite part of any X4, Elite, any of these games, honestly, as weird as it sounds, I really enjoy landing my ship, okay? What got me into Elite was Microsoft Flight Simulator. I bought the stick and throttle, and I loved it. And then I realized that I could have that same feeling that I'm flying my ship in space, right? So, the thing that gets me is that in Flight Simulator, I wanted to have a plane, that I felt like it was my plane. I knew the ins and outs of that plane, and I could travel and I could do. Well, Elite Dangerous gave me that same feeling, but in space, which was amazing, right? I like to turn off the assists on Elite Dangerous as much as I can because I like to land my ship. I like to take off. I like to feel like a commander or a pilot out there. I like to feel like, hey, if I'm not paying attention, I could really screw this up. I like that, and that means something to me. Now, if you were to, and the reason I reference that is because with Starfield not giving us that kind of control, from what I've heard and what I've read, it seems like we're going to be able to pick a spot and our ship's going to land there, and then we're going to get off. Now, if you play Elite in the way that, you have all the assists turned on, where you just basically go up to the station, request landing or docking, and then it docks it for you, I don't really see what the difference is, and what Starfield is proposing versus what we already have. But for me, it does take away some of that, I don't know the word, that experience of being a pilot. That being said, the combat, honestly, on Bethesda games in the future for me, have felt somewhat clunky. Okay, I even like Fallout 76, man. But it doesn't feel like a AAA shooter as far as the controls go. To me, it doesn't feel like I'm playing Call of Duty or even Fortnite. It's not as responsive to me. Maybe it's because I use the VAT system the entire game. I don't know, but I just, it doesn't feel, and Skyrim didn't feel that way. It didn't feel like you had this perfect control. That being said, Starfield looks amazing. The combat looks amazing. It looks on par with some of the greatest shooters that we have today, to me. That being said, my concerns are the landing, the taking off, the actual control and immersion that we have. I get it. It's not a space sim. I understand that. However, I love space sims, and I think that touch would have been the thing to push this game over the edge. To be completely honest with you, what I wanted going into this game is every promise that Star Citizen made delivered. That's what I thought Starfield was going to be. And honestly, I think I'm starting to realize that maybe this isn't what I thought it was going to be, but I know that I'm going to enjoy it anyway. Okay? Another thing that really stood out to me that I haven't saw this opinion addressed anywhere else so far, and maybe I missed it, was the NASA punk design. My kids' birds are going crazy over here. I apologize for that. All right, back to what I was saying. So Starfield, it takes place in the year 2330. Okay, that's 300 years from now. Okay. When I look at the ships, and like I said, the NASA punk design, I believe when you see there's a picture of a helmet sitting on a shelf inside the ship, right? And I think it's got a piece of tape on it that says "Do not use" or something. That to me looks real. That to me looks like how I would imagine things to be, you know, on a ship, like in reality, right? The way that it looks like the interior, like nodes of an ISS, like it looks real to me. That being said, when you get into the ships, this thing they show us, it looks like a friggin', what is that, an aardvark? Like, I don't understand the landing gear. It doesn't make sense to me. And I believe that, you know, maybe it looks like an animal. It doesn't look anything like what I would imagine the future of our space program to look like. That being said, I don't know what they'll do 300 years from now, but I don't imagine that it'll look like that based on what we have today. So what I wanted to show you guys really quickly, Sierra Nevada's Dream Chaser, to me, looks sick. I've always thought that, and to me, if you look at the Dream Chaser, which I'll give you some photos of it now, this is something that we're launching soon, okay? This is 2024 spacecraft. All right, this is real, and it's now, okay? This thing looks like a hauler to me. It looks like a hauler from Elite Dangerous. And I'll give you a picture of that and let you check it out. I feel like this shows the next steps from Dream Chaser to the future, okay? From the space shuttle to the future. But nowhere in there do I see this aardvark design being the future that comes from. To me, it feels like, honestly, Dream Chaser looks more futuristic and more advanced than the aardvark I'm seeing on Starfield. Okay, I understand that we'll get to craft our own ships, and there's another shot that I want to show you guys where it looks like the cabin, I believe is what it was labeled as in the picture. If you could do the cabin alone, to me that looks like a futuristic spaceship. Okay, but the entire, when you get into the body and the legs of this thing, like I just don't get it. But maybe we'll have that customization. Nobody knows. Maybe we'll have the customization to where we can actually make this thing look how we want it to look. If you look, also, I wanted to point out Virgin Galactic's space plane, which it's flying now. Okay, check this thing out. So, to me, I showed it to my son, and he said he didn't like it. He didn't think it looked cool. To me, it looks freaking awesome, right? And now, this thing can't, and with Dream Chaser too, I'm going to point out it can't lift off on its own and go into space, which, you know, I imagine in 2330, hopefully, technology will advance to the point to where our ships will be able to do that, you know, and come back on its own. But now, you know, we go on top of rockets. that launches up, and with the space plane, it has another plane that helps it. They go to altitude, and it drops, and then the engines fire, and it takes right into the edge of space. But to me, this thing almost looks like akin to like an Imperial Eagle. I mean, it looks, to me, these ships from Elite Dangerous, they look like future iterations of what we have today. Whereas the Aardvark thing, that to me, like I said, it sounds like I'm complaining. I know it does, but it doesn't look futuristic. It doesn't look like, and what was explained with NASA Punk Design, that this was supposed to be something that's believable. You know, the next steps for space exploration. I don't see that. To me, next steps would be, you know, more in line with what we see in Elite. And I know I sound like a, you know, this Elite fanboy that nothing's going to replace Elite Dangerous, and I don't believe that it will, but I don't believe that's the intention for Starfield either. I believe that Starfield's going to be an amazing game. I think we're going to have a great time. I don't believe that it's setting out to replace our space simulators. It's not setting out to be a space simulator. I think it's going to be the most amazing RPG that we've ever played. I think it's going to be a ton of fun, and I know there's going to be a lot of it on this channel. Hey guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Comment below. Thank you guys for engaging with the channel. Thank you for being a part of this journey. I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next time.